man. Wolf Mother, Love Train. That was in one of the Bachelor movies. The Bachelor Party movies. I forget which one it was, but that's just that's a rockin' song. Love Train by Wolf Mother. If you've never heard it, Google it, play it, enjoy it. It's definitely a rock medley kind of just song. How's everybody doing tonight? Happy Friday, rainy Friday, Columbus, Ohio. Episode 174. Now, if you pay attention to the titles at all, Drunk on a Ladder is not the best advice. So the picture I posted, the house I'm working on, that's on the ceiling, okay? And their last name is Irish. And it basically says that they got this ceiling work done 3 days before St. Patrick's Day at 9:30 at night. And I've found many things. I don't talk about my current job at the moment, which is doing rehab at houses. But the string line, if you look at the picture, there's a blue one and an orange one. Okay. The blue one's the original one. It's 4 inches off where the beam is. Okay. So that just kind of told me that there was an exposed beam. They measured it. They ran a string line, but they were open this much. So they weren't screwing into the beam. They were just screwing into the lath and hanging this giant drop ceiling, which of course destroyed the ceiling, made a mess. And it was just everything. So I just kind of laughed seeing that note, like, yeah, you're on a ladder. It's 3 days before St. Patrick's Day. Of course, you're getting ready to have your annual St. Patrick's Day party, because you always have a giant St. Patrick's Day party. So that's what was going on. I could see the past. I can see exactly what was happening at that moment in time on that day at 9:25 p.m. at night. That's what was going on. So I was chuckling as I was relining this disaster of work trying to rehab this kitchen that I am working on. So that's what that picture was. Anyway, hope everyone's doing great tonight. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and click for notifications. Because otherwise you don't know if I accidentally go live, like Todd pointed out, at 8 o'clock the other night on episode 8, which I have no idea why I did that. It just does it randomly at this point. And I don't get why. It wasn't pilot error. I turned off the motor tonight. I'm watching the timer, but still things screw up for me. I changed this camera angle. What do you think? Is this a better camera angle now? It's a little more direct. It's not so glaring, but this way, if I have to show you something, you want to read something, I can hold it up and you can be like, see, look right there. There's my notes. See my horrible handwriting? It was too far before. I didn't like the angle. So now it's a better angle. So you can kind of see it and I can be like, sup? Anyway, all right. As I'm trying to improve things, upgrade things, make things better, my team is giving me notes like, do this, get to work harder. I'm like, yes, fine. Boss me around. All right. Why are these glasses so crappy? Man, I tell you what, I need to clean my glasses more often. All right. Anyway, where do you want to start tonight? I'm just going to go randomly because I have some weird notes because you saw some weird notes. So we'll just start in 1997 with Ben Folds. He released Brick, the single Brick. I took a bunch of notes on it, but then I didn't write them down. But basically it's about his girlfriend having an abortion. That's basically what it's about. So there it is. That's the Cliff Note versions of Brick by Ben Folds. 2000, Eminem released his single Stan. That went on to beat only number 51 in the United States, but number 1 in the UK and 13 other countries. So apparently we didn't appreciate Stan as much as everybody else did in the world. Now, if you don't know the reference of Stan, Stan is what he's referring to as his overzealous fans. So the lunatics and such. It reminded me of Benny's. I grew up in New Jersey. And we grew up at the beach, and the expression was "Benny's go home," and Benny's was a reference to the bridge and tunnel crowd that would come in for the weekend. So the New Yorkers, basically, and the people who had a lot of money. They had the Benjamin Franklins, the Bennies. So the idea was Benny's go home. So if you're ever in New Jersey and you ever see something that says Benny's go home, now you know what that reference is for. It's basically, if you're not a local, locals only. If you're not a local, you're a Benny. If you're coming down with your big bucks to spend it on the shore and go, try and win prizes on the boardwalk and try all the outrageously delicious food and all that. But there's your reference. So I just thought I'd throw that out there for you. 1931. Sorry, my dyslexia just kicked in right then. Bang. 1931. Frankenstein with Boris Karloff is released. This is based on the book by Mary Shelley from 1818. I didn't realize that it was that old. I mean, I know it was old, but I didn't realize that she wrote it back in 1818. That's pretty good for a story back in 1818 to have that much creativity and imagination for it. Now, it was originally called Frankenstein or the Modern Prometheus. I was like, wait a second. If I'm not mistaken, and I'm not because I double checked, Prometheus was one of the ultra gods, one of the Titan gods. He was the god of fire. He was the ultimate trickster. And he basically was the creator of man. So that's, I think, what the reference is, because that's why he was the god of fire, because he forged the fire, the crucible that created human. So that's it. And also, if you ever go to New York City, there's a golden statue of like this swimming guy. That's Prometheus at the Rockefeller Center. That's who that artwork is, Prometheus. There's also a good movie that came out that was part of the Alien series type things, Prometheus, as well, in like 2022 maybe, or 2012. I don't know. I didn't write that down because I didn't really care about that part. But anyway, there you go. There's your lessons on Prometheus for the night. So we went from Benny's Go Home in New Jersey to Greek gods in New York City. I'm just full of it tonight. I did demo today, so I'm just a little hyped. That's always sort of gets my blood going when I literally bust out a sledgehammer and just start busting shit up. Because I was demoing the kitchen. Since I have to work in the kitchen, everything else is done. It's time to start the demolition. So I, pulled the floor up and did that. Then I was like, well, maybe I'll just take a whack or two at some of the cabinets. Yes, that's exactly what I did. I was like, well, I could take them apart politely. And I was like, no, I'm going to take a sledgehammer to them. And I just took a couple swings. I didn't fully demo it because I had to get home, and I figured if I started, I'd literally still be doing it now because I would not stop. Destruction's fun. I'm sorry. Just busting shit's always good. Anyway, back to more stuff. 1995, Bruce Springsteen released album number 11, The Ghost of Tom Joad, spelled like toad, but with a J. Joad. It went on to win the Grammy for Best Contemporary Folk Album. I mean, is Bruce like going for an EGOT or something here? He's got the Grammy. What else does he need here? But yeah, folk album. All right. Contemporary folk. I didn't realize Bruce was contemporary folk. Just saying. 2013, Pharrell Williams, with his silly hat, released his single, Happy. I am not going to sing Happy, just so you know. It won this is in 2013, Billboard Song of the Year 2014, Grammy Best Pop Solo Artist 2015. I guess we needed Happy. I guess we needed some Happy. So maybe a happy song. I'll write a happy song, just not called Happy. It's like Steve Martin with the banjo. Every song you write with a banjo is happy because you can't be like, ding, death, murder, destruction. I remember seeing that somewhere, and it was kind of like, it's true. Banjo's a happy tune. It doesn't make sad songs. Unless, of course, you're watching Deliverance. And that's a sad song because what happens to our friend out in the woods. Woo! 43 years ago today, U2 released Under a Blood Red Sky. 50 years ago, Queen album released A Night at the Opera. It topped UK #1 chart 4 non-consecutive weeks. It was their first RIAA platinum album. It was their first US single. It went into the Grammy Hall of Fame in 2018, and it gave us their most famous and well-known song, double the length for any song back in the 70s, 50 years ago, Bohemian Rhapsody. Crazy. I was like, really? 50 years ago was Bohemian Rhapsody? Holy crap. I see a little silhouette of a man, Scaravouche, Scaravouche, where you do the fandango. Yikes. That's kind of crazy that you think about it. 50 years ago. I'm just kind of blown away. Let's go back even more than 50 years. 1954. Rosemary Clooney, who was a singer and an actress, was #1 on the UK singles chart with This Old House. The song was also #1 for Shakin' Steve's in 1981. When she died, her nephew, when she died, her nephew, George Clooney, was a pallbearer at her funeral in 2002. So Rosemary Clooney, famous because of George Clooney, vice versa. I don't know. In 1955, RCA Records purchased Elvis Presley's recording contract from Sam Phillips at Sun Studios for an unprecedented amount of $35,000. 1955, $35,000 comes out to a lot today. Basically, they introduced the 33 1/3 RPM album, sold in the public, and later to 1949, the RCA Victor introduced the 7-inch 45 fine grooved vinyl, which Elvis sold a lot of those. Many, many, many. In 1960, Maurice Williams, when the Zodiacs went into #1 in the US with the chart with Stay, it was the shortest. I listened to it because I was like, wait, I listened to it like 4 times. It's the shortest single at 1 minute and 37 seconds. I was like, what is this, the Ramones? 1 minute 37? That's that's their length music. Anyway, I was a little bit like, well, all right, I guess that works. In 1960, the Beatles played the Kaiserkeller Club in Hamburg, Germany, without George Harrison. George had been deported earlier in the day for being underage. He was only 17 at the time, and he wasn't legally allowed to remain in the nightclub after midnight. So they kicked him out. I love that. They're like, get out of the country. You're not old enough. We caught you in a nightclub, you long-haired bug music dude. 1970, the Partridge Family started a 3-week run at #1 on the US singles chart with I Think I Love You. Now, this was the song that featured in the opening of the first episode of the Partridge Family TV series. Now, to know that they were a manufactured TV series band, it was the same company that did the Partridge Family that made the Monkees. Now, unfortunately, we have more information when it comes to oh, Jesus. Oh, that was close. To that. On this day, David Cassidy died. So David Cassidy was on the, he was Keith Partridge. Now, the funny thing was that his mom in the show was Shirley Jones. She, in real life, was his actual stepmother. How weird is that? I was like, all right, I found that to be amusing. He died of liver failure when he was 67. Rocking hard, doing it. He definitely had some teen idol action. They had a #1 single, I Think I Love You. They also had a #3 single with Breaking Up Is Hard to Do. And he scored a solo artist #1 single with How I Can Be Sure in the UK in 1972. So good old Keith Partridge, David Cassidy, died on this day, which happened to also be, the whole number one day that many years before the band that he was in hit it big. What can I tell you? 2 months after his death, Jimi Hendrix was at number one on the UK single chart with Voodoo Child. Slight return. 1970, the closing track of Electric Ladyland. It was the third and final album by the Hendrix Experience. This was the guitarist's only UK number one. Hendrix's solo on the track was named the 11th greatest solo of all time in Guitar World's 100 greatest solo tracks. It is good. I listened to it. I'm like, yeah, I could see that ranking up there, double digits. It's good. I mean, Hendrix played a guitar, man. The guy knew how to play those riffs. And, that was a good one, too. So, 1971, Elton John kicked off a 13-date UK tour at the Coventry Theatre, promoting his new album, Madman Across the Water. The album cover of Madman Across the Water was actually embroidered over 2 weeks by the wife of the album art director. She was the back of an old Levi's jacket, and the original was gifted to John. And then they shot the photos, and that became the album cover. Interesting. In 1974, Wilson Pickett was arrested in New York City for possession of a dangerous weapon after he pulled a gun during an argument. I was like, Wilson Pickett? It's like, man, all right. Did not know that he was a violent kind of chap. Back to Elton John. In 75, at the start of the Elton John week in Los Angeles, Elton received his Hollywood Walk of Fame star. Now, in 1976, the Stranglers, supported by Chelsea, appeared at the Nashville, London, England. This was Billy Idol's last gig with Chelsea, who joined fame in the punk rock band Generation X before he became a solo artist as Billy Idol. We have a little more Billy Idol news coming up. Now, this one gets the stamp of, dude, what up, man? Just not cool, dude. 1980, Don Henley was arrested after a naked 16-year-old girl was found in his home in Los Angeles, California, suffering from a drug overdose. He received a $2,000 fine with 2 years probation. Okay. Everything with that is wrong. Just all of it. Too much of it. 1981, Olivia Newton-John started a 10-week run at number one on the U.S. singles chart with Physical. It was the singer's fourth number one and went on to sell 2 million copies. Now, the funny thing is, Elton John recalled that she later had misgivings about this song, and because of its innuendos, she asked if the song could be pulled from release. The problem was, it was too late. The song was already performing well on the charts, and John complained but still was told, it's not going to happen. You signed off on it, and it's out in the world. She probably stopped bitching after it was number one for 10 weeks, though. I would think. That would just be me. I'd be happy with a number one for 10 weeks. In 1981 as well, Queen and David Bowie were at number one in the UK with Under Pressure. They recorded the song together when both acts were working in a Swiss recording studio. It was David Bowie's first release collaboration with another recording artist. He had never done a collab with any other singer or songwriter up to that point. So, you gotta like that one. In 1983, someone else who has a sketchy past, Mr. Michael Jackson's 14-minute video for Thriller was premiered in Los Angeles. Directed by John Landis and co-starring former Playboy centerfold Ola Ray, the video, like the song, contained a spoken word performance by horror film veteran Vincent Price. The video was filmed at the Palace Theater in downtown Los Angeles. The zombie dance sequence at the junction of Union Pacific Avenue and South Calzone Street in East Los Angeles, and the final house seat at the Angelino Heights neighborhood at 1345 Carroll Avenue. Now, some of those neighborhoods were a little bit on the sketch side, so I'm sure there was a lot of production going on, but Yeah, there was definitely people that got paid for that one. I remember seeing once when I was in I had to do a little production work, and we were in New York City, and the PA, the production assistant who was taking care of crowd control, they handed him a stack of 20s like this big, and basically people that were like, because they wanted like, don't walk on the streets. Or I gotta walk here. Here's $20. Just just give us 5 minutes or whatever. So he literally walked around like just paying people, stay in the store for an extra 10 minutes. Here's $20. Go buy something. Here's $40. Do something, just to keep people out of shots, because it was so hard to close a street off in New York City. Even with the permits, it didn't matter. The police were like, yeah, whatever. We got the street closed. We're not stopping people from walking. So yeah, if you've never seen that, yeah, that's what they do. They pay people, don't walk here. So back to Billy Idol. In 1987, Billy Idol knocked off Tiffany, of all people, from the #1 single position on the U.S. singles chart with his version of Tommy James's Money Money. Tiffany had been at #1 with almost another Tommy James song, I Think We're Alone Now. That's very strange how Tommy James had a #1 and got knocked off for another Tommy James #1. Play the lottery, just figure out what letters Tommy James is on that date. Jeez. Jimmy Page, in 1988, of Led Zeppelin fame, embarked on his first ever UK solo tour, accompanying him on drums with John Bonham, the son of former bandmate John Bonham. His son is also John Bonham. It isn't John Bonham Jr. Whoops, what am I dropping? Oh, shit, I dropped something that didn't make a good sound. Not happy about that. I think this is like his 33rd wife. In 1990, Mick Jagger married Jerry Hall in Bali. The marriage was declared null and void on the 13th of August, 1999, 9 years later, after a judge ruled that the 6-hour ceremony in Bali was never registered. So he married Jerry Hall, had kids, 9 years later, you were actually never married. How do you... First of all, who discovered that? I want to know who was looking. Secondly, who the hell has a 6-hour wedding ceremony? And thirdly, why would you care? I'm just wondering. All right. In 1991, Aerosmith made a guest appearance on The Simpsons. Other acts who appeared on the show have included, ready? Red Hot Chili Peppers, Smashing Pumpkins, Sonic Youth, U2, Moody Blues, B-52s, The Who, R.E.M., Fish, Blink-182, Metallica, and The White Stripes. It is the most cameos by rock bands on any television show ever. To this date. How crazy is that? The Simpsons pull anybody just to be on the show with those yellow people. I think that's awesome. Who would not love that one? All right. In 1994, after a 5-year wait, the Stone Roses released the single Love Spreads. In true Stone Roses fashion, the group turned down an appearance on BBC One's TV show Top of the Pops to promote the new single. Now, we have more Stone Roses news. Also, Stone Roses hold on, I have to get to it, my bad. In 2012, John Squire's art studio burned down at his home in Macclesfield, Cheshire, England. After it caught fire, 2 paintings from Squire's recent celebrity series were lost, but no other works in the studio at the time. And one more Stone Roses factoid. Unfortunately, yesterday, Rennie, who is this R-E-N-Y, what his real name is John Wren, the drummer of the Stone Roses, passed away at the age of 61. So I was listening to a little bit of Stone Roses because now we have one of the Stone Roses guys who is dead. And they were always getting some crazy fracases. Every time I talk about the Stone Roses, it's always because somebody's getting arrested or somebody's doing some crazy shit. 1995, the manager of Led Zeppelin, Peter Grant, died from a heart attack at 60. Known as one of the shrewdest and most ruthless managers in rock history, Grant secured 90% of concert gate money and intimidated record store owners who dealt in bootlegs. Apparently, he was a former wrestler and a rather formidable and imposing figure. He worked as a film extra and a bodyguard. He also manages Bo Diddley, the Everly Brothers, Little Richard, Chuck Berry, Eddie Cochran, Gene Vincent, and the Animals. I mean, okay, it's like you have a WWE guy. I mean, is that Lou Albano, Captain Lou Albano, doing it for Cyndi Lauper? Remember him? Oh, man. All right. So this, again, people, you have too much money. Just share the wealth. An acoustic guitar, which the late Beatle George Harrison learned to play, fetched, ready for this one, $340,000 at a London auction. His father originally bought the Egmont guitar for, ready for this one, $11. Another item was a signed invitation to the post-premiere celebrity, the Beatles' Hard Day's Night film, and only sold it for $25,000. But that's a lot for a guitar. I mean, it's not even autographed. It's just, hey, I got a guitar here. George Harrison learned to play this. I mean, okay, just saying. Phil Spector, will it never stop? I mean, you're dead, but in 2003, record producer Phil Spector appeared before a California court and was formally charged with the murder of B-movie actress Lana Clarkson. Basically, she was found in his mansion in February of this year with a fatal gunshot wound to her face. Spector pleaded not guilty to her murder during a brief hearing in near Los Angeles. He was released on $1 million bail. I mean, if you ever watch any movies or stuff that shows the Phil Spector story, he was just a lunatic. He was always waving guns around. There's all sorts of stories of artists talking about Phil Spector. He was a great producer, but he was just a nut job. Just crazy as a coconut. 2004, Eminem was #1 in the U.S. album chart with Encore, his third U.S. #1 album. Girls Aloud started a 2-week run at #1 in the UK singles chart with their version of The Pretenders' I'll Stand By You. And this week's 2004 single for the Children in Need appeal, with its proceeds going to the charity. This one I found, I always questioned this. I never really thought about it. In 2007, the Red Hot Chili Peppers sued USA Networks over the name of its TV show Californication, saying the title was immediately associated in the mind of the consumer with the 1999, oh, damn it. See what I get for not paying attention? Where's Todd to give me shit? Yes, Todd. Apparently I did not pay attention. It happens. Anyway, Californication gives immediate association in the mind of consumer with the 1999 album and the single released Californication by the band. They filed a lawsuit against Showtime Network, the makers of the TV show, which featured David Duchovny as a writer going through a midlife crisis. For some TV shows to come along and steal our identity is not right, said Anthony Kiedis. He described Californication as the signature CD, video, and song of the band's career. Is it? I mean, you would say that, but is it really? I don't know. I'm not sure. When I read that, though, I was like, Now, this comes under the heading of stupid rock stars. Pete Dougherty was arrested on suspicion of possessing a controlled drug moments after escaping a prison sentence at a court hearing. The Baby Shambles singer allegedly dropped a wrap of little blue crystals when he was being frisked by security as he entered the court. Bro, you're going to court on other charges and you're bringing drugs with you. Come on. Like, you get out of prison sentences bringing drugs and get rearrested. I'm sure the judge will be like, excuse me? We're going to revisit that. Remember I said don't ever appear in my court again? Well, you're appearing right this second. We're throwing you back into jail. Like, what are you doing, man? I just find it to be a little bit disheartening, ladies and gentlemen. Disheartening. Dumb rock stars. All right. Born on this day. David Porter. He wrote Soul Man and Hang On, I'm Coming. Hang on, I'm coming. I sang that one terrible. Sorry, that wasn't even like close. John Babbitt Bundrick of The Who and the Rocky Horror Picture Show, born on this day. Bjork. Happy birthday to Bjork. She's 60 today. This Icelandic, crazy, weird, experimental music singer, Bjork. I always liked her stuff. It's just quirky and weird. I got to meet her once. She was very nice. She was very little, though. She was very petite. She was a tiny little thing, and she was very quiet. She had a really low, squeaky little voice. I was like, oh, you are Bjork for sure. Happy birthday to Alex James of Blur. I listened to some Blur today. I was definitely in an English, very fast-paced mood while I was smashing shit. It's definitely not listening to contemporary music that's just kind of mellow and slow. You want the BPM to be really high when you start swinging a hammer to break stuff. I'm just telling you. Get that mood going. And then, of course, like I said, Miles Heskett of Wolfmother. Happy birthday. Like I said, I was listening to Wolfmother literally before I started the show. You've got to try that. Love Train Wolfmother. Just as soon as we're done, just go Google it, put it on, and turn it loud. It's just, it's a song. It's definitely a song. 1942, born on this day, Tweety Bird. The cartoon character with a big yellow head that Sylvester the cat always tried to eat. I mean, cartoons have birthdays, right? The first time they show up. So it's Tweety Bird's birthday today. Who knew? I always liked Tweety Bird. I thought I'd throw a putty tat. I did. I did the putty tat. Harold Ramis from Stripes. That was such a funny movie. That is a really good movie. Sergeant Hulka, the big thumb. Or the big toe. The big toe. Because stick that big toe right up your ass. That's the Fat Jack. He died in 2014, by the way. And Goldie Hawn, 80 years old today. Goldie Hawn, Saving Private Benjamin. Oh, no, it's not Saving. It's Private Benjamin. Saving Private Ryan and Private Benjamin. I got it mixed up. That would be Goldie Hawn goes to war and does some crazy shit. That would be Saving Private Benjamin. It's Friday. What do you want from me? I'm losing my mind. The only person that died on this day that was besides David Cassidy, John Wren, was Bill Bixby. Bill Bixby played the Incredible Hulk. He was the dude before Lou Ferrigno burst into his big greenness and hulked out back in the whatevers it was, 70s, 80s. He did other stuff, but that's what I remember. I remember seeing Bill Bixby in the Incredible Hulk. So the loner walking around all sad and curmudgeon-y and don't make me angry. You won't like me when I get angry. The Incredible Hulk. There you go. All right. So that is episode 174 in the books. Tomorrow will be 175, meaning only 25 left to 200. 25 days till 200. 25 days till the 17th of December, meaning my birthday is under 25 days, which is crazy that it's this late in the year already. I don't know where the year went. Thanksgiving next Thursday. So I'm going to do something special for Thanksgiving. Like I said, because I'm here, I don't travel for Thanksgiving because I think that's a bunch of, it's too much. It's just too much. So I'm not going to be doing that. Tomorrow, there's a home football game. Ohio State plays Rutgers. Rutgers from good old Rutgers, New Jersey. Actually, I saw the Ramones at Rutgers, New Jersey in the green. in 1981. In the fall of 1981, one of the times I saw the Ramones, and I'll always remember because it was outside in this, in the green, and Ramones are playing the stage, and Joey's up there and he's playing away, and someone throws like a giant beer, just like heaves it up there and it like hits him like right here in the chest, like soaks him. He just goes and goes right back to playing. And I was just like, I love this band forever, right there. That was, I already had loved them because I'd seen them, but I was just like, yeah, that's exactly Ramones right there. Just flipping them off like, we're not stopping, you damn kids. Stop throwing beers at us. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. So go have a rest of a good evening, Friday night. I guess there was a concert tonight that I did not go to. Manmouth played last night in Columbus. And tonight, who was it now? I forget. I know Red, White, and Blue is playing at the Bluestone. I did not go see them. And also, I forgot. Lost it. It was right there. Oh, Camino. Camino is playing. Not El Camino or Camino Royale, but Camino. A sold-out show at the LC. Played them back in the day. But did not go because tickets are expensive. They were sold out. They're like $45. And that's like an hour's work, man. I can't go concerts. I got to work and make money. Pay the bills, man. I got to pay the bills. This shit's different these days, man. I don't make money when I sleep anymore. Anyway, all right. So go have a night. Go do your thing. I'm going to go. I finished watching The Beast Within, I think what it was. All right. Limited series, Netflix. Watch it. It's like 8 episodes. Highly recommend it. It's not bad. It's pretty good. Oh, tonight's Friday night. Pluribus is on. Oh, yeah. Ooh, episode 4? I'll watch that tonight. That's what it is. Because I was like, I find something new. Yeah. Oh, and then funny things that I found today. Look at this one. This was from the Farewell show. I don't know if you ever saw that. Look at this. Me holding the flaming torch and the dumpster on fire, which both are very real. That's actually a real torch that I lit and had pictures of. And the dumpster being ablaze was, yes, you've seen the pictures of me lighting the dumpster on fire. I actually lit the dumpster on fire. But it wasn't like uncontrollable fire. It was a very controlled fire. Pyrotechnics. It's my thing. Prometheus, the god of fire. All right. Appreciate you. I hope you had a good show. I did. It was always fun being here. Appreciate you being here, and we'll continue doing this. We'll make improvements and keep changing. So if there's things you like, make comments. Talk to me. I can't. Live in isolation here. I mean, I do. I live in this little 7 by 8 foot studio box. I do have to move some of the crap at my feet, though. If you could see what's at my feet, I'm constantly shuffling my feet because I'm tripping over. There's a stool right here. There's a big bucket right here that bugs me, and there's a bucket there, and there's paint cans there. So I have like, my feet can move like this much on either side, so I'm restless standing here on the concrete. I may have to get a new desk. This one's becoming overrun, and I'm going to have to put a third computer on here for what my next changes are so I can add pictures again. Because see, right now, it's this. It's just a black box. See, there's nothing here. This black box. So I need to get another laptop so I can add things there. That's the hopes. Anyway, appreciate you. Thank you much. Have a great night. Have a stupendous Saturday. And I'll see you tomorrow evening. Until then, do good things. Watch out for bad drivers. And do something randomly kind for someone tomorrow. Even if you just let them cut in front of you while driving. Just do one kind thing that does not give you any benefit whatsoever. Just because. That's my goal. I'll do the same. Thank you. Appreciate you. Fade to sepia or black. Oh crap, I keep forgetting. They're going to end this thing. End stream. End stream. Excuse me.